Well, a very good morning from Phuket, and today is Tuesday the 19th of May. Now some of you will already know Tuesdays is normally our business's day off, so we're closed on a Tuesday. So what I thought we'd do today is go and take a look at some other businesses and see what measures they've got in place. As you will know from my previous video on the channel, if you haven't seen that, I'll link it at the top of the screen now, so that will give you an idea of what the government have laid down for businesses now to do in what they're calling the new normal. So on today's video, we're going to be taking a look at these businesses, other businesses, and what businesses are doing, if anything at all, to stay in line with the government recommendations. Our first stop this morning is going to be a company called HomePro. They're a large home and electrical suppliers. They have a few retail stores situated around the island of Phuket. The one we're going to visit this morning is in Chalong. Now, of course, they probably won't be very keen on me taking in my camera with all my gear and everything, so some of the footage may have to be shot on my mobile phone because they may not want me inside filming everything. A lot of these companies, normally you have to ask for permission before you can go in with a lot of camera gear, but we're going to go down there, see what we need to do to actually get in the store, see whether there's any measures in place, see what they're expecting from the customers, see what the businesses is supplying to the customers. So stay right there and I'll be right back after this.
Right.
Well, I've just arrived down at HomePro, otherwise known as Villa Market. There are a few other shops besides the HomePro shop here. There's the Villa Market itself, which is a supermarket mainly dealing with food for foreigners. They also do sell Thai food as well, and there's a few other shops down here. Besides that, there's a Starbucks, a coffee shop, I think there's a KFC, a few other small different shops around the Villa Market area. So we're going to now go inside and see what we need to do to actually get inside here. Now, I actually had a member of my Facebook group post a comment the other day saying that they'd come down to Villa Market to go to the Boots the chemist and wasn't allowed access to it because they wasn't willing to install an app on their phone. The government are on about that everybody that wants to go into shopping malls and the larger shops, they need to put on their phone an app called the Chana app, which stands for Thai Victory. That can be downloaded either when you go into the store initially or downloaded off a website, but I wasn't able to find the app online. I did look on Google Store, couldn't find it on there, so I'm going to download it onto my phone when I go into the store if they ask me to. They should also supply a book so you can put your name and telephone number and address in the book if you don't wish to install the app on your phone, but I know a lot of the larger retailers are sort of insisting that you put the app on your phone rather than fill in the book. But we're going to take a look here first, then we're going to shoot up to Central Festival, which of course people will know Central Festival, one of the larger malls here on the island of Phuket and indeed throughout Thailand. They have a lot of shopping malls all over Thailand, the Central Group. So we're going to be taking a look at that a little bit later, seeing what measures they've got in place. I know they're being quite strict at the moment because it was all over the news the other day. They've been open roughly 2 days. I've given it a little bit of time to let the crowds die down because the first day it was just crazy. Lots of people, of course, not been out shopping for ages, all rushed out to the mall, so it was really hectic and I didn't really want to do that. So I've allowed a couple of days to go by. It's now Tuesday, the malls opened on Sunday, so we're going to take a look, see how busy they are, see what measures we're going to have to take and do to actually get inside the malls, the shops, etc. Okay, well I can clearly see they're doing temperature checking on people that are going into the store there. So there's been a temperature check, but no scanning of any apps that I can see, or scanning of any sort. They were saying the other day that you had to scan the barcode that's on the window, and you can clearly see that, but I didn't see anybody just doing that with those two customers. So I'm just going to wait a few seconds and just see whether anybody else scans the app. They're saying that you need to have your temperature checked. People wearing masks, of course. Once again, no evidence of any scanning going on, just temperature checking. Now normally Villa Market there are several entrance and exit points, but as you can see this one is closed, so they're directing me to just one. So I've got a feeling that we may have to scan an app or install an app and then scan it in to actually go into where HomePro is situated. I don't yet know. Let's just have a wander around and see where we have to go in. As you just saw at Villa Market, they're not making people scan when they go in. I can see there's a temperature check going there. No evidence of any scanning of any apps installed. Now actually Nat's just been asked to scan in, so she's now got that app on her phone and she's just scanned in. So they are here at HomePro expecting people to scan, use the app and log in, if you want to call it that. Okay, Nat's gonna scan out now from HomePro. Okay, that's it. So you can actually check out at the till when you're leaving the store. Well, that was quite an interesting experience. I've just been inside HomePro and you do have to scan a code, a QR code, but there is no app actually that you need to install on your phone. What the QR code does is take you to a government website via a link where you then enter your phone number and just click check in, and then when you leave the store you have to scan another QR code that then takes you back to the same government website via a link that you then have to just click check out. I didn't see any evidence of any apps being installed on your phone, so there's been a lot of talk that you need to install an app on your phone, and people are worried that the app that you install is actually a tracking app, and there's no installation of any apps. As I say, I've just been in, scanned a QR code, linked to a website, checked in via a phone number, and then done the same process when I've left. Just scanned the QR code, checked out, and clicked the link saying check out, and that's all there is. There's no actual installation of any apps that go onto your phone. So I don't know where people have got this idea. It's been reported that you have to install an app, and even myself, until today when I've actually come out to the actual shops, as some of you will know, they've only just recently opened in the last few days here, some of the larger shops. Of course, HomePro being one of the largest shops near me, we are now going to go up to Central Festival, and I understand it's the same sort of process there. So people that have been worried about installing apps onto the phone needn't worry, because there's no actual installation of any apps. Basically, it's just a scanning of a QR code that takes you via a website link to a government site where you then check in, entering only your phone number, and then when you leave the store you do the same process, only checking out. So again, a little bit puzzled about that, but fairly straightforward. But I did see evidence of people checking in but being a little bit unwilling to check out when they leave the store, sort of just breezing past and not doing the checkout procedure, which is a bit silly really, because that's going to show the people in the store for a lot longer than they have been, for one thing. And there is actually a limit, I believe, on how long you can spend in any one store of 2 hours. I think shopping malls you're only allowed to spend 2 hours in the actual shopping mall as well, but I can't confirm this. It's only what I've read in media, and I don't know how exact the time limits are. So, but from what I understand, the maximum you can spend in the shopping mall is 2 hours. And the way they monitor this is, of course, the time that you check in and the time you check out. But there is no actual app being downloaded onto the phone. That I can confirm, because I've just gone through the process myself. So what we're going to do now is we're going to now go and check out a few more businesses. I think we're going to go over to Central Festival and have a look at what they're doing over there. I have seen here evidence of nearly all the shops in this vicinity in the Villa Market precinct, all having barcodes on the windows that you need to scan when you enter the shop. I don't know about when you check out. I presume they have a different QR code to check out, and then I've seen a lot of shops using that. I haven't tried to get into the shop without scanning the codes, but I presume that if you're unwilling to scan the codes, then you're not going to be able to go into the shop. I have seen a couple of shops having a book where you can put your name and address and telephone number in if you wish to do it that way, rather than scanning on your phone. But to be honest, there is no apps loaded onto your telephone, not from what I can see at the moment. Okay, well, it does look like you have to actually scan when not only entering the shopping mall, but each particular shop as well you've got to scan into. Well, I've not long arrived down here at Central Festival, and to be honest, I'm quite surprised on what I've found. Looking at the media the last few days, of course, the shopping malls and a lot of the larger shops have been able to open up now because of the restrictions being eased. However, it has been reported in the media that to gain access to the larger shopping malls and indeed some of the shops, you are going to need to use an application so that you can scan in and scan out of the various shops. Now, this led me to believe, the way it's been reported in the media, that you would actually need to install an application on your phone that would be similar to a tracking app, really, the way each time you visited somewhere, you would need to check in and check out and scan barcodes. And this is not necessarily the case, and it's certainly not what I thought it was today. I've come down to the mall now at Central Festival, and earlier I was at HomePro, and what you actually need to do is open a QR code scanner. Now, this can either be a QR code scanner application that's already on your phone, or you can do it through various other apps such as Facebook or Line. Once you have the QR code, what you need to do on entering the mall or a particular shop, you scan a QR code. It then comes up with a link which you click on, and this takes you to the Thai Chana app. And it's not an app that's actually on your phone or that you download to your phone, but it opens this link to a website where you fill in the details of your phone number and just click check in, and that automatically knows where you are at that point. And then once you leave the area that you are in, either the mall or the particular shop, you then scan a QR code again and just click check out, and that's all you really need to do. There's no actual application on your phone. So the application is held online, it's on an actual website. It doesn't download anything to your phone. It's just basically that you need to fill in your phone number when you first open it the first time, but after that, each time that you scan a barcode and this link appears, when you click the link, it takes you to the website automatically. It doesn't ask you again for your phone number. All it asks you is whether you want to check in or check out. And of course, all you need to do is click the appropriate box, whether you're checking in or checking out. Once you've done that, then you can proceed on, do your shopping, or indeed leave the store. A lot of the stores I've seen down Central are operating this system. So most of the shops all have QR codes at the entrance. A lot of the shops are using only one entrance and one exit. So this is to encourage people to scan the QR code on entrance, and obviously when you leave the shop, it's either at the cashier's desk or on the exit. As you're leaving the shop, you just scan the code, follow the link and click check out. So it's quite straightforward. However, I can imagine this scanning each time you enter and exit a shop can be probably a little bit annoying if you're going in and out a lot of shops. It could be quite easy to forget to check out of a shop also, because not all the shops have got staff monitoring this. Some have at the entrance, so they're sort of guiding you on what to do. and guiding you to check in and then check out when you leave. Other shops, there's nobody there, so you're just reliant on yourself doing it, so it's just a case of having to remember. I have noticed a few people walking out of stores that haven't clearly checked out, so I don't know what that does as regards to the website. If you don't check out, it shows you in that store for a lot longer period of time, I would imagine. But in general, it's quite straightforward and easy to do. It's no real hardship. As I say, the only thing I can imagine, it would get frustrating if you're in and out of a lot of shops. So anybody that's worried about having to install an application on the phone to be able to go out shopping here, they needn't worry, because there is no app installed on your phone. Okay, well, we're just leaving Central now, and we're going to take a trip down to Robinson's, which is a smaller mall in Phuket Town. Safety precautions here are being taken and followed, plenty of cleaning staff about, so all these sort of things I was expecting from such a big, large shopping mall anyway. But I didn't come out the first day, which was Sunday, when the restrictions were eased on shopping malls, simply because I had an idea that it was going to be very busy. And looking at the pictures from the media on Sunday, that was the case. There was a lot of people out. Of course, people have been stuck indoors for a long period of time. They wanted to get out, have a look around the shops. Today has been very, very different. A lot quieter, not as many people. There are some people about, but not too many. Most of them are following the guidelines as regarding wearing masks, as I mentioned. All the shops that I can see here are following all the guidelines as regards to do with safety, social distancing. As you can see, the restaurants, even in the shopping mall, there's a lot of tables missing that would normally be there or closed off. There's a lot of areas that are still not open to the general public. They're not using them because maybe they can't introduce the social distancing. Overall, I think everything is pretty good here at shopping malls. As I say, we're now going to shoot across to Phuket Town. We're not too far away. Go and have a look at some smaller retailers and see what measures they're taking. I've got a sort of inkling that it won't be. The shopping malls here, the larger ones, are definitely following the rules as much as they can. And now I'm going to see what the smaller retailers are doing, and the smaller malls and the smaller shops, restaurants, etc. Okay, well, we've just arrived down at the Robinson shopping mall. Now, this is a lot smaller than the central malls. This is situated in Phuket Town, so we're going to have a look to see whether they're doing the same sort of measures as the larger shopping mall or not. Okay, well, we're just trying to find out which way we go in, because there are a couple of entrances here to the Robinsons, and I'm not quite sure which entrance they're using and which are the exits, or whether they're using them all. I can see one member of staff on the door there. Don't see anywhere where you scan in. Okay, the QR code scan is just in the doorway, so they do have it here. Okay, well, this looks like the area where you have to scan out or leave the Robinson shopping mall, different to where you enter the mall. Well, I've only just had a quick look around the Robinson shopping mall, and from what I can see, they are taking precautions. You have to enter, check into the place using the online application that I've mentioned before. There's also gels provided to clean your hands before entering and when you leave the Robinson shopping mall. All the staff that I've seen inside are wearing the necessary masks, etc., and face shields. Most of the people that are walking around again have got the masks on. It's not that busy, to be honest, again today, a little bit quieter than a few days ago, so quite quiet in there. So no issues with social distancing really in any of the shopping malls that I've seen so far. Even in the coffee shops and small restaurants that are open within the malls, they are taking the necessary precautions. I've seen a lot less tables in the restaurants that are open, so there's a lot of spacing. Pizza Hut, KFC, those type of restaurants, there's a lot of spacing in between. Some of the restaurants I've noticed are actually going a little bit OTT with it, with the plastic screens between people at the same table, which I don't really find is relevant, especially if you're sitting with somebody that you're obviously come to the mall with, such as your partner, your wife, children, etc. I mean, if you're traveling with them to the mall, then you should be able to sit with them and not have a plastic screen dividing you. I don't think that's necessary. Obviously, plastic screens dividing tables, people that you don't know and you haven't come to the mall, I can understand that. Most people are going to want a table to themselves, not sit with somebody else they don't know. There are some taking a little bit of extra precautions. We'll see how long that's going to last. Now we're going to pop over to a local small restaurant. As I've said in my previous video, a lot of the restaurants are choosing not to open at this moment, and if they are opening, they're only doing takeaway food because I'm guessing for the restrictions. However, this one local restaurant that I do visit from time to time, I have noticed is open. They normally have quite a lot of tables in there, but the other day I was passing and I stopped to take a quick look, and they've got a lot less tables, so a lot more area. Social distancing opened up there, so we're going to go and take a look at that, see where we can get in the restaurant, if there's enough room for the three of us to go and sit down and have some food. Well, we've just had a slight detour, and Nat's mentioned that she needs to get some supplies for the salon, so we've come down to where we buy our salon supplies. The shop is situated in Phuket Town, so I thought we'd just call in here, see what measures they're also taking as well. Be interesting to see. So they do have some hand gel outside, and also a notice. It is in Thai, but I've asked Nat to translate it, and it basically asks you to clean your hands before entering the store and to make sure that you are wearing a face protection mask once you enter into the store. So they are taking some precautions here. This is a lot smaller shop than the big ones that we've been looking at today, so it gives you another look at other businesses, what they're doing. But apart from that, I can't see anything else. There's no scanning any QR codes here. Just walk in the shop once you've cleaned your hands, and just make sure you keep your face mask on. Now just behind me is Phuket Grocery. They normally have a small market. Now markets at the moment in Phuket, none of them are open apart from the one outside of the grocery superstore. So we're going to have a quick wander over there and just take a look at that market, because I can't show you the normal markets such as Nakar Market, Walking Street Market. All those markets at the moment are remaining closed. They have been allowed to open by Bangkok, the government in Bangkok. However, the local government here in Phuket are keeping them closed at the moment until they have all implemented some sort of measures to protect themselves and the customers, such as social distancing, the cleaning, etc. All these measures they need to have sort of in place. So I'm going to pop across and just see what this local small market has done, if anything at all. It's not very busy. It's outside the supermarket, as I say, the grocery supermarket here in Phuket Town. So once Nat's finished getting her supplies, we're going to have a wander across there, and then from there we shall then go to the small restaurant. Okay, well I can see that to go inside the grocery store itself, again you're going to need to scan the QR code, check in. They've got hand gels there, staff are wearing masks, but we're not going to go inside because I'm sure they're taking all the precautions that they need to take inside there as regards with the wearing of the masks, etc. So more interested in just having a quick look around the market. I can see a lot of the stalls have got the plastic screens across the front now, which they never used to have. This is the only market that I know to at the moment that is currently open in Phuket. The local government here are keeping most of them closed, to be honest. I presume they're trying to sort out of all the measures that they need to apply to some of the markets. Some are going to be a lot more difficult than others. I can see straight away, I come down to this market quite regular. The stalls now, normally the stalls down the centre here, those have gone. And there, as you can see, there's quite a large open gap between the stalls either side. All the stall holders that I can see are wearing masks. This one only a small market, but it's a little bit of mixture of food and clothing. This area is a little bit more tighter, so I'm guessing social distancing is going to be a little bit more difficult once the stalls get closer together. But at the moment it's not busy, so there's no issue with the amount of people. But it'll be interesting to see what it is going to be like when there is a lot of people around. So this is now the food area, mainly food down here. And as you can see, most of the stalls, plastic screen across. Okay, well we've just arrived down at the restaurant. It's called Mi Ton Po, and we're going to have some noodles here, myself, Nat and Ploy. But I just wanted to show you what sort of precautions these restaurants and measures that they're taking here now in Phuket Town. I do dine here quite regular, and the first thing that struck me is the amount of tables that are now in the restaurant compared to what there normally is. Now you can see there's a table just there where we're sitting at, and then normally there's tables all here, lots and lots of tables. They really normally cram them in, but now there's a lot less tables than what there would normally be. Quite a big area for social distancing. There's a small table behind where we're sitting just over the back there, and then a lot less tables. And as you walk into the restaurant, the lady greets you, takes your temperature and asks you to clean your hands with the supplied hand gel. And then even at the table there is some social distancing, which you can see where you're not supposed to sit, and then sit and not sit. So of course this restaurant will be losing out when it comes to customers, because they're not going to fit as many customers in as they normally do. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the glimpse today at some of the measures that businesses in and around Phuket are taking. Of course the larger shopping malls taking more measures than the smaller businesses. Of course they've got more money to put more staff on duty, take more extreme measures than the smaller establishments. Some only taking the very basic measures, such as supplying hand gels and temperature checking. Some just supplying the hand gels, no temperature checking. And then you have the other businesses that are not only checking your temperature, hand gels, they are also expecting you to sign in and out of an app now that the government is running on their website, so they can pinpoint people and where they've been. Open cap, thank you. Okay, my noodles have just arrived. Looking forward to eating those. So this has given you a little bit of an insight to the sort of measures that now are coming into place here. Regarding the markets, we've had a quick look at the market that's outside of Phuket Grocery. It's only a very small local market. It's going to be interesting to see whether other markets adopt what they've done there with this plastic screening and how they're going to do the social distancing. Some of the markets are a lot narrower than the market that we looked at Phuket Grocery. So it's going to be interesting to see how they adopt all the different measures that they need to. Well, don't forget to check out the description of the video. I shall put any relevant links in there, names of businesses that we've visited, etc. There's also all my social media. While I'm talking about social media, I'm now also on Twitter. I will include the link in the description, and Pinsta as well. So those have just been recently added to my social media. So do go and check those out. Follow me on Twitter, etc. Well, as always, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I'd like to thank everybody again for all the comments across all the videos. Some great, interesting comments coming through now. Of course, don't forget, if you want to leave a comment, then please do leave it down in the comment section. I'll do my best to answer any relevant comments. I can't promise to answer them all because I am getting quite a lot of comments now. Also, the channel is growing, so thank you very much. If you have recently subscribed, thank you and welcome to my channel. Well, that just leaves me to say, until next time, I will catch you on the next one.
Right.